whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
Kia ora koutou. I just wanted to say, I runga I ngā mihi kia koutou katoa, that yes, we always listen to that opening song before we start.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that opening song.
Sape.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, kia koe te hoa hāwira,
Yeah.
mohe au kua mihi a ketia koe I roto I nei punua pāho, but just another mihi to you, my bro. Ko tātā tau waiata he whakahihiko I a mātou.
Tika.
And I hope e whakahihiko ana I a koutou ki te whakarongo anō kia mātou, e whakapāho atu nei I te ipurau o te wānanga o te roa I koneki I te awa mutu. Ko mātou anō tēnei e nei, e mihi atu nei, I tēnei rangi nei. Kia koutou, ana koe ko Praone Gloin, mātou ko Erica Sinclair.
Kia ora.
E te puaheiri, aka Snow. Yeah, here we are. And shall we get straight into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 71.
71, whiti te kaumātai.
We're in the 70s.
In the
70s.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are they the golden years for the taumata, for the paepae, or...?
Ooh, I think we'll return to that statement. But I mua tērā, we can have our kiwaha. Kiwaha. Which today is...
Taua, taua.
Taua, taua.
You and me both.
You and me both.
Yep, that's us.
That's a whānau way to say it.
Yep.
Yes.
And how would you use taua taua in a sentence?
Taua, taua. I'd say, oh, rongo anau I te maike I tēnei ata. Ai, taua, taua e hoa. That makes you and me both. We're both feeling the cold this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you? What's another way you'd use it, Erica?
Oh, man. I'm dying for some kina right now.
Oh, and I would say taua taua.
Ah.
Even though I'm not, but...
And I'd say, oh, kaurua. Ko kare pai te kina kai. I know.
So taua taua e te iwi. And you can swap it out with the other, you can say tātou.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Tātou,
That's the
tātou.
other one. You could say to someone else, māua.
Yeah.
Tātou.
I do that when someone goes, oh, kei te aha rawa. Ah, rawa.
Yeah.
Rawa, yeah, rawa, mai.
That's
yeah.
them, yeah.
That's them, not me.
Yeah.
That's them.
You know when you want to say me too,
Yeah.
and quite often I hear me au hoki. Is that kind of like saying and twice? Me and hoki and? Like, wouldn't it be better to say taua taua? Well, you know.
I think the hoki there, though, is also a hoki can be an intensifier
Oh, right.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But good on you for picking that up.
It's just
Yeah.
something I've always wondered.
The other one, too, with me au hoki is me au tahi.
Mea
Mea tahi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taua tahi?
Taua tahi.
Taua tahi,
Oh, yeah.
that's a good one.
Taua
Yeah.
tahi, koutou tahi, mātou tahi, māua tahi, kōrua tahi. Koena, engari, start with taua taua.
Taua taua.
Yeah.
You and me both, bro.
Yeah. You and I, me and you. Koena, taua taua e te iwi, te kiwaha. Tā tātou kaupapa e homa.
It's a golden one.
Golden years.
So this week's kaupapa is Kaumātua. But let's start off by discussing, what do you think a Kaumātua is?
Instinctively and impulsively, the first image that comes to my mind is an older person. But my intellect tells me that that's not... To me, the age doesn't define a Kaumātua.
Yeah.
And I don't know, in this day and age, or was it always like that? I mean, this is a big thing now because we're at a time where, because you're old, you end up in these certain positions, and sometimes I have to choose my words quite carefully because I don't want to trample the mano of others.
Yeah.
Or elder people, which is not my aim, but there are some that lack the knowledge that a Kaumātua should have.
Yeah.
But because of their age and sometimes gender, they are put into these positions as a Kaumātua status. Because there's another misunderstanding that is Kaumātua is gender specific only to the male, whereas
Yeah,
a
true.
Kaumātua is a grouping of our elders or he puna mātauranga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I've heard before and I thought was really interesting, because I like looking at kupu Māori and sort of breaking them down. So Kaumātua
A father
Ko.
cow.
Well, one thing I heard that it could be ko as in koreko,
Oh,
and matua as in parents.
Oh.
So a kaumātua could be somebody who doesn't have any parents. Kind of sad, but also very true.
Well, in regards to our whakaaro of what a mātua are, or who your mātua are, and talking in the linear, ki te Māori, ko tērā whakareanga
Katoa.
I runga I a koe o mātua, ko
Tika.
mātua era. You know, I've heard the same kōrero as well, and it's about that whole generation above you is gone. He kaumātua, I think traditionally. And then later on, you had to become old or older in order for that to happen. So that's talking about both your parents and their generation in your whakapapa. So you would have been older, I guess, most of the
Yeah.
time.
Kia ora.
I think that's more of the origin of the word kaumātua. It is an old word because in Hawaii they use aumakua.
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 Ai, tika.
Yeah, but their aumakua is how we would use tupuna.
Ai.
And even the word tupuna, so in Manepoto I've noticed with some of my aunties, mostly because I was listening to them, they talk about, oh, taku tupuna, and they're talking in the sense of their grandparent.
Yeah.
Now we use tupuna or tipuna more for our ancestors that have passed on.
Ai.
But tētai o aku whanaunga, Jared, mehe me kei te whakarongo koe, he always referred to his kuia, oh, taku tupuna, I mea taku tupuna, oh, kei tara mai taku tupuna, and I know she
Yeah.
spoke like that. So they use tupuna in that sense, how we use kaumātua,
Yeah.
and aumakua for them is a kaitiaki, which is usually a kararehe. So
Oh,
it could
kia
be
ora.
a shark
Yeah.
or otherwise. Ke aumakua tērā, and that becomes the kaitiaki of your whānau.
Kia ora.
So kaumātua is a very old word. You know, some people think, I've heard them say, oh, kaumātua is a new expression. It's not.
Kia ora.
And I always look to our cousins in the moana nui a kiwa,
Ai, tika.
the kupu that they use. And it's in a lot of our mōtete as well. What I behold as a kaumātua, to me, in my heart, I don't see many of
Kia ora.
now.
Tika.
In that a kaumātua, someone you would go to in absolute confidence, solve or be a solution, that korowai that you needed. Knowledge and wisdom are two different things. Kaumātua had wisdom or have wisdom,
Kia ora.
not just knowledge. I remember it being explained to me, knowledge is knowledge, wisdom is how you use
How
the
you
knowledge.
use it, yep.
Ah.
Whenā te rerenga kētanga o te... Nā, mōhiotanga, wisdom, tētahi atu o te wisdom, māramatanga.
Yep.
Mohiotanga, māramatanga.
Ai. E mātauranga tonu I roto I tērā, engari etahi kei arata ngā mōhiotanga, engari kāre māramatanga.
Kāre māra tika. Kia ora.
And yeah, I feel you, Te Puaheiri, because I think, you know, we need to be honest with ourselves as a people, as we've got a generation, and ka rau I te kōrero, I runga I te kōrero whakaiti, I o tātou pakeke. And that's another expression you'll hear is pakeke.
Pakeke, ai.
Yeah.
Some iwi don't use pakeke, and other iwi, if you go to, it means something else. And Ngāpuhi, you wouldn't really use it, because pakeke means difficult or hard,
Oh, okay.
which we also use in Maniapoto for
Kia ora.
difficult and hard, is pakeke. Or if you're in Tūhoe, they'll say pākeke. And in Te Arawa, they use koeke more
Koeke.
than
Ah,
kaumātua. But they all mean or hold the same value of what we're discussing today and what a kaumātua is. But today, of course, we have a lot of our whānau, hapu and iwi, are bereft of the calibre of kaumātua that our parents would have had and our kaumātua
Our
would have had.
kaumātua, ai.
He aha ai. Why do you think?
There's lots of
Yeah, I
reasons.
think
There's
there's
so many layers
Few
to it.
variables as to, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many layers to why we haven't got that calibre of kaumātua. You know, colonisation, definitely. We can go back to the First and Second World Wars,
Kia ora.
where one whole strata of leadership, male leadership anyway,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
taken out, again overseas. And then the other one was the urban drift between the 50s and 60s mainly.
Yeah.
From our rural kāinga to the big cities. Might not even be in the cities like the centres we think
I mean,
of, but it
yeah.
could be just going to
The
town.
industrial centres where
Yeah.
there was work.
Yeah.
and
Where the mahi was.
Those mātua that moved away did not spend the time with their mothers and fathers. The knowledge wasn't handed down to them because they weren't around.
Yep.
So you get this whole generation that's been missed.
these people could have been the children of those ones that didn't come back from the war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you look at the ranks and the depth, you know, it's already taken out by 2 generations there. And so that's all you need to be bereft of that type of mātauranga.
Yeah, and since you did point it out, I do see that around when I'm in rural communities. A lot of the tamariki and the rangatahi that live there, they're often living with their grandparents or other elder family members because their parents have moved into bigger towns or cities for mahi. So then there's another missing sort of generation.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And it's a cycle.
Yeah, the massive rearrangement of the traditional way of living.
Yeah.
Māori communities from hapu iwi to almost nuclear family within modern settings.
Yeah.
You know, so that would have had a big
Intergenerational transmission. So you had that 3 whakapapa or 3 whakareanga living in, or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In one
One
whare.
In one whare,
Kia ora.
yeah.
You know, you had the tūpuna, kaumātua, then the parents,
Yep.
then the mokopuna, and then perhaps even mokopuna tuarua, which affects or affected either the perpetuation or loss of both language and culture.
Kia ora.
And part of the culture is our tikanga. Our tikanga me ngā kōrero tuku iho. You know? So there's lots of reasons why. And it's hard. And I mean, you know, we've had a saying that's been bandied, that was bandied around, or not bandied, was popular, and probably raised a few eyebrows or chuckles from people, was Taala Kaumātua.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Kaumātua felt that they were just getting used or
Yep.
rang up just for their ability to perform karanga,
Yep.
whai kōrero,
Yep.
and mō tētea.
To even
Yep.
just speak Māori.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
to be the, I guess, the purutanga Māori o te ao Māori i roto i tērā hui. But, on the other hand, now we have professional kaumātua.
We do.
These are
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
consultants.
And then they
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
conferences. I've
Yeah.
seen them there.
Absolutely. They sit on boards, and I say this with humility. I've had a discussion with some and said to them, you represent te ao Māori in this mahi you're doing, so
Kia ora.
don't just go along with everything. You know, if you know
True.
something's not right, don't be just turning up to be the tick box
Yeah.
That token Māori. Yeah.
the tick box kaumātua or the tick box Māori on that board or committee or whatever. You know, ko koe kei te whakakōrero i ngā mātua tūpuna me ngā taonga tuku iho. You're the mouthpiece. You're going to give voice to our ancestors, to our traditions, to our tikanga. Yeah, so what is a kaumātua today? Yeah, I think age... I've been referred to as a kaumātua.
Yeah.
First time I heard it was a few years ago. It was a kaumātua of mine. It was actually
Really?
an uncle. I was the first speaker and he was the last. He's in his 60s. He might be 70 now. He's in his 60s.
It's like double your age.
Yeah, and he says to the manuhiri, ko tika toa i tō mātou kaumātua, ngā whakaaro me takoto i runga i tō tātou marae. Pretty much saying, our kaumātua has already covered everything that needs to be discussed. He put it on the marae. And I got a bit of a fright that he referred to me as a kaumātua.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I had a bit of a think. Why did he refer to me as a kaumātua? And another time, actually it was before then, but I sort of actually had a chuckle about it. And we got the Pukawa commemoration celebrations coming up. And it was actually to go down, so it was the first year of Kingi Tuheitia. I would have been 25 at the time.
Young.
Yeah,
Rangatahi.
young. I'm still young.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I was young.
Tawa.
Yeah, tawa. Tātou.
Tātou.
I got the call up from Auntie Kawe. And Auntie Kawe Jr., she is one of the main lingawera for the king. She rings up and she goes, we're going down to lend a hand to Whareto where we can. I asked who could be a kaumātua and I got told you. So you're going to be a
Oh my
kaumātua.
God.
At that time, I didn't really think about it, but now I am. Now I'm thinking, and the person that referred her to me was one of the kaumātua.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Shocking, but a compliment at the same
Te
time.
mihi.
Mauri ora, Mauri ora Kingi, who passed away 2 and a bit maybe years ago. He was from Ngāti Rereahu Manepoto Te Arawa, and he was a well-known arata and advisor, rangatira noroto i a Te Arawa, tūhaurangi. People used to say he was a kaumātua before his time. I think there's a lot of people now that are kaumātua before their time. Because it's a case of filling shoes that are left and filling roles and responsibilities that have to be
Kia ora.
in order for our tikanga to be upheld. What irks me is that whānau hapu and iwi give these or expect these people to fill this office of being a kaumātua, of being the kaikaranga, of being the kaikōrero, and that when it comes to decision making, they're either not included or they're on the back seat. Whereas I remember a time, and we're talking about, and it wasn't tick box at all, where the kaumātua were involved or made all the decisions.
Yeah.
They were seen as the rangatira.
Yeah.
You know, ko te hunga pakeke e nei. Not so much now. So we want to give all these responsibilities to people. We want them to do the karanga and the whai kōrero because nobody else can. But when it comes to any decision making within the iwi or the hapu or the whānau, they're on the back bench, so to speak. So I guess I'm saying to everybody that's listening, ki ngā, he kōrero tēnei ki a tātou e ngā iwi, if you're going to, push people into those responsibilities because you need to fill a role, to uphold the mana of your whānau hapu iwi, then you need to afford them the mana to be involved in all sorts of things, not just decisions on the pai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we're to be true to ourselves as Māori, then that position holds mana.
Kia ora.
They must be, not should be, they must be involved.
And not just a mandatory seat or obligatory seat on a council or somewhat.
Yeah, what I was saying before, if you're going to be on those seats or you're going to be in a committee, then you're looked at the role model
Ai, kia ora.
or the keeper of those traditions. So you need to provide that guidance. Yeah. So koina e tahi whakaaro mo te kaumātua.
Pai ana whakaaro.
Seems like these days they don't really have as much mana as they would have back in the day. Like their role isn't regarded as important these days because it's like, well, you're the only one who can do it, so do it.
I think what's happened is that we've narrowed our vision in terms of what a kaumātua can do and what a kaumātua can offer to a situation. And if you said kaumātua to a lot of people, the first thing they would think is someone who can do the karanga or the whai kōrero and knows the mōtetea.
Yeah.
Really, kaumātua is a bit more broader than that.
Yeah.
You know, a kaumātua is an advisor, a counsellor, a consultant.
Yeah.
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 You know, they can diffuse a situation.
Yeah.
They can infuse a situation.
Aye.
Yeah.
They can refuse as well. You know, their kupu and their actions carry weight. You know, I've been in hui where all it's been is an eyebrow and everybody has swayed the other way.
Aye.
Yeah.
You know, from an eyebrow, nothing said.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always about saying something. You know, silence can be deafening as well.
Yes, very
Yeah,
much
definitely.
so,
Oh,
You
that's
know.
scary.
Sadly, though, when we hear kaumātua, we think kaumātua, oh yeah, someone that can do the karanga. Not all of them did the karanga. You know, not all of my kuia done the karanga. Not all of my kuia knew or done all the mōtete. Most of them did, but they had their things they, I guess now we would say, specialised in. And the same with my koroua.
Kia ora.
They didn't all do the whai kōrero.
Yeah.
You know, ones were more dynamic than the others.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a role in society. I didn't actually know my kuia because she passed away before I was born, but I don't think she was a kaikaranga. But what I do know about her is that she was an amazing diver and had an amazing garden. She would have been a kaumātua, but not a kaumātua that has all this mātauranga and doing the karanga or the mōteatea, but she has other mātauranga to offer.
Kia ora.
From this kōrero, what I'm sort of coming to realise is maybe a kaumātua is just a person with life experience.
Exactly. Most of it is. It's like you're saying, wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is knowing that tomatoes are fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. You know?
I reflected, I think, the other day i te wai te kōrero tāua kia Mr. Hita. I'd done this oral research project with some of our kaumātua, over 20. They had a hang up with the word. These were kaumātua. They were in their 70s, 80s. And they had a hang up with the word.
Kia ora.
You know, because I think they had their whakaaro too. They were assessing themselves now against who they remember their kaumātua were. And they says, oh boy, I don't know whakapapa, I don't know, I says, yeah, but, I just want to hear about your life experiences. Well, one went on to talk about the tuna, wanamahi tuna, nawa, the moon and all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Well, that's all knowledge
Aye.
and experience. Afterwards, he realised that was really precious knowledge and valuable knowledge.
Yeah. It
Koina.
often takes someone else to realise what you are doing and put sort of value in what you are doing for you to value yourself.
Kia ora. Yep.
I've got a few kaumātua left, and regardless that I can perform some of the duties and I believe to a higher degree and maintain the integrity of those teachings, there's lots of times when I know I have to have my kaumātua with me and they need to come, and I feel good when they're around. So they're those, get those warm nanny fuzzies around, these koro fuzzies from them.
Yeah.
And then they could be quite, terse sometimes. I value kaumātua, definitely. They're getting less and less.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I know like a lot of people these days are holding karanga wānanga. It's not a new thing. What are other things that you know of that are going on to kind of lift the number of kaumātua?
Well, I'd like to talk about a program that we did have in Te Wānanga o Te Roa. It was called Te Arataki Mani Kōrero.
Aye, kia ora. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a really neat program because it gave a forum for the kaumātua of the time, and these were guns. And it was at the behest of Te Ariki Nui Tātai Rangi Kāhu. Primarily it was to look at filling the spaces on the paipai, but it turned into something bigger and probably, I think, more beautiful, in that these kuia and koroua had a space where they could wānanga ngā tikanga o te karanga, wānanga ngā tikanga o te whai kōrero, wānanga i ngā tikanga o te tikanga.
Yeah.
Wānanga kawa, and with very little facilitation, and they were free to speak with their ilk. That's the other hard thing. There's only few of this generation who our kaumātua are comfortable with.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes that because we're so eager to, not eager to step up, but we're eager to perform those duties.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I say that in a humble way. I don't mean you're doing it because to push anybody out. But I know kaumātua, and they've said this to me, that they feel that there isn't a place for them.
Oh, like being cast aside.
Yeah.
Almost bullied out because...
Ka pūteruha.
Yeah. And that's no fault of this generation or that generation. It's just the way of it's just the times. But Arataki Manu Kōrero was a safe space for them where they could whakawhiti kōrero. And that was something that grew them, because that's the other thing is we're having kurareo around the motu. Kurareo and wānanga tikanga are two different things. Kurareo was primarily language and is for the people who are into grammar and but whereas you're having a lot of iwi that are running their wānanga, and they're focusing on karanga whai kōrero mō teatea, which is different to kurareo. And that's growing knowledge and perpetuating that knowledge. But again, kaumātua, many have had exposure, and that's what's missing. Exposure to hui Māori, exposure to hui āiwi, and a range of situations and contexts and kaupapa. They're all one and the same. Your credentials have been gained through attending those hui and spending time.
It's like automatic respect. Almost like, because there's nothing worse like when you're maybe studying at a tertiary organisation and you know that your teacher went to school, went to uni, became a teacher in that kaupapa straight away. Like they haven't done the mahi.
No, it's true, man. They, when they talk about wisdom, it is gained from experience, and it's gained from almost any situation that you can think of that they've done before, or they've gained an understanding of how to look at certain situations. Because, you have lived at a ripe age that you understand, or you have a good background of the world at the time, and you understand what the young eager bull wants to do,
Because maybe they were that
they were
young,
that,
eager
they
bull.
were that one. Then they did have troubles, they did have problems. They were that type of person as you were, especially if you're related to them. You were the same, rawa. I can say that I've made that mistake of overlooking, silly old man, I'll do that, you know, or, you know.
Oh, no, they need to get with the times.
Yeah. Or then you come to a situation and you go, actually, they were right. Or actually, we didn't have to rush into this. You know, there's a reason why they take their time and thinking and approaching situations, you know. It's just with a clearer mind because they've got the experience, they have the wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's a big thing to understand what place and position our kaumātua hold in this day and age. And if you are deemed that way, what responsibility you have. Yeah.
Just as we were talking about different kupu before, about that, you know, in Tainui or Waikato, probably use ruruhi more.
Yeah, and koroheke.
Yeah, ruruhi and koroheke.
Koroheke, yeah.
And then Che said, they also use ruruhi. I can't remember, but he said ruruhi they use as for a grouping of kuia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Up north, you don't refer to an older man as koro.
As koro, yeah.
He's e kara.
E kara.
E kara.
And te korekera.
Te korekera, yeah.
And then in Tūhoe they use karawa.
Karawa, yes.
They use karawa in Tūhoe. In Ngaitahu we have paua and taua.
Taua, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
paua
that
and taua,
from
yeah.
that Iwi o Te Wiki episode.
Yeah, so those are some of the different kupu we have through the iwi. And then we've got karanima and karanipa.
Ah, yes. Those
krani.
ones always crack me up.
We called our koroua granddad. He was granddad.
Yep.
Didn't really use koro. It was koro. Sometimes, but yeah, granddad was
Yeah,
mostly
we use
granddad.
we
Yeah,
use
we use
pop and
papa.
granddad.
And some use nana for the male as well.
Yeah. All my nans, my dad's side, my nan, all, no matter the gender, they were Nanny Wally,
Really?
Yeah.
Nanny Della, the nans, Nanny Blossom. But we also have this one called Pooh, P-U.
Oh, yeah.
Like Nanny Pooh or Pooh someone.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
It's a word I wanna find out more, especially from the Ngātiwai area. What I think it is, I think it's that.
So you say nanny poo, not poo nanny.
No, you say Nanny Pooh. You say Pooh Nanny, you have to wind the window down. Yeah. But yeah, I think they just come out from people creating kupu for their respected ones.
Yeah. Koina e tai whakaaro mo te Kaumātua. I remember one time I said to, and I was much younger then, and I said to koro iwi that I felt I needed to spend more time with him because I wasn't getting what I thought I needed because I didn't have any kaumātua, or the kaumātua were few to them, so not having the knowledge that I needed or wanted. Yep. And he turned around and he said, kaua e whakaiti o pakeke.
Kia ora.
And I felt really stink after that.
Yep.
Kaua tātou e whakaiti o tātou pakeke.
Kia ora.
Me whakanui ki tātou I a rātou. But this is a discussion I think that every whānau hapu and iwi should have.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I commiserate with the loss of our kaumātua and te kaha torutoru o nā kaumātua kei a mātou.
Kia ora.
So now we've got 3 over 80-year-olds in our section of Raukawa. But then one of our marae hasn't got, and they affiliate to 3 of the 4 marae. And one of the 4 marae in our section, they haven't got any kaumātua, the calibre that we think of being kaumātua, able to uphold those responsibilities.
I see that too around home in the Hokianga and the Bay of Islands, that our kaumātua are worn thin. It's, even though they have lives of their own still, they are going from marae to marae.
Yeah, and it's always the same ones.
Yeah, because the whānau are looking for guidance.
Yeah.
Especially in ngā huimate, ngā tangihanga. A grieving whānau are looking for guidance, and usually it's towards the kaumātua. The kaumātua will group together and go, okay, you go to that one, you go to that marae, you go to that marae, because they have to try and spread themselves out. It's really hard on them, so we need to understand what they have to do.
We coined the term, the term has been coined, pai neke neke.
Pai neke neke, kia ora.
A community or a kāinga that has 2 or more marae, and the local kaumātua, they go from one pai to the other to support the things that are happening with the various hapu at the various marae in their takiwa, in their area. Whereas years ago, every marae would have had their own kahui kaumātua, and they wouldn't have to go around, So you got a tangihi, and then the next day is unveiling, and then on the weekend is the 21st, and, So we expect them to do all these things, and then it comes to decision-making in some areas, and we don't want to take on board their whakaaro, Especially for some of the things that can be, some things that maybe the whānau want to happen during the tangihanga. Take the lead from your kaumātua. Whakarongo ki ngā kaumātua.
Yeah, because it's probably the 10th tangihanga he has to take care of in that month or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, understand the experience, you know.
I haven't been rude. If you both thought I've been scrolling, I have. I was looking for this post one of my uncles put up a while ago. I think he shared it. I'm not sure who he shared it from, but he shared it on his, and I had to go all the way back to March. So kia ora, Uncle Sunny. This is called a kaumātua. You both might have some whakaro, and all of you too listening as I read this. A kaumātua. A kaumātua doesn't work normal hours. A kaumātua doesn't do the 9 to 5 stint. A kaumātua is on call 24/7, 365 days of the year. A kaumātua doesn't have a preference on whose whānau he or she should support.
Kia ora.
A kaumātua is a multitasker, from offering karakia to welcoming royalty and governments. A kaumātua is not defined by age, but by ability. A kaumātua can be of a family as much as a tribe. A kaumātua can be paid wages or not. A kaumātua can contribute to a nation's project in a way a 200 a day per hour consultant cannot. A kaumātua cannot, does not, and will not negotiate a fee for his or her contribution. A kaumātua does not define their duty by the weather or race or creed. A kaumātua is not, but not restricted to, a grandparent who would often have a mokopuna on hand. A kaumātua is often a teacher of tikanga, values and morals. A kaumātua, however, has the same needs and obligations as you. A kaumātua pays bills but sometimes sacrifices those to fulfill their duty. A kaumātua has home and whānau obligations just like you. So when you need a kaumātua, think of these things and try and alleviate the whakamā they endure in the course of their duty. Because being a kaumātua is not a career option. It's not a passion. It's not a choice. You either got it or you haven't. It's a wairua thing, where the wairua chooses you and your iwi mandates you. Thank you for looking out for your kaumātua.
Ka mātua I tēnā.
Ka mātua I tērā e pai nera.
Pai, rawe.
Hi.
Yeah, so kia ora, Uncle Sunny, for sharing that. Maybe the author of that post is listening and can tell us that it was actually you that wrote that up. There's a lot in that to think about, and I think what we've discussed too.
Kia ora.
E nui hoki
Right.
nā kōrero I reira.
That ties into koha. Did you hear that, everyone? You know, what you consider giving in terms of a koha to a kaumātua. Little things like that.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, just something that we might, us three that have got jobs, take for granted.
Yeah.
Like putting gas in the car can be a big mission for a kaumātua.
Hard out.
You know, and just to give them, you know, and hey, if you know, there's always a way around it. Like, I know some of you are thinking, oh yeah, but they won't take money. Get some gas vouchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not
Buy a
putting
few
them in.
groceries.
Exactly. You're not putting them in a position where they feel they're taking money from you.
Yeah.
You know, so give them some gas vouchers or something. It's a whakaro.
He whakaro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just showing up for a cup of tea with no agenda.
That's right.
They love that stuff. They just
Absolutely.
love someone to talk
Yeah,
to.
that is true.
Yeah, we visited one of our, we rangatira tēnei, engari he Kaumātua, yeah, we visited him a few months ago. Yeah, we just went around for a cup of tea and we took some cakes and stuff and just had a good yarn. And yeah, he said, oh, he missed that and it felt good to just have a talk and not feel like that the people turned up to get something
Kia ora.
out of
yeah.
him. You know?
Yeah. It's another thing because we've got people going back to uni or, you know, reclaiming their mātauranga Māori. And so there's always that assignment. You know, what is the kōrero of your marae? You know, look for a kaumātua to find it. You head home, you rush home to the kaumātua and that's what you do. You go in there with the expectation to take all they want.
Yeah.
And then you realise they won't give you much. It's like going to the Shaolin master and you've got to fetch water for 20 years before he teaches you how to punch. You know, so think of it that way, that you're not going to turn up and they're going to give you everything that you need because, yeah, he tangata.
Koina hoki. Nō reira, koe nā tātou kōrero mo te kaumātua e te iwi. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
too.
I want to go visit
Yeah.
my kaumātua.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, ka nui te aroha. And mehe mea he kaumātua koe e whakarongo ana ki tēnei punua pāho, ka nui te aroha kia koe,
Ai.
o tira kia koutou katoa ngā manaakitanga ki runga kia koutou, tēnā koutou katoa e arataki mai nei i a mātou, e ngā tamariki mokopuna e tupu tonu nei. And before we go right out, we're going to have te waiata o te wiki, which is...
Which is Pumo. It is sung by Charles Panapa
Oh,
about
kia ora,
our
Charlie.
dear Auntie Ma. And it was taken from her book, Buckets for the Rain.
kia pūmau tonu mai.
Tangihia, tonunga pare kawa kawa te aroha, ki tō tātou marei kura. Mai maira, hi roto I Taringa te atua. Mai mai, taku rau kura e, oki oki atura.
My child, taku tamaiti, will you grace this land? Walk hand in hand with kings, holding high the fire. Come as you intend to be for the rest of your life. Hara mai koe me te āhua, he mana ko ana koe, ki te whakatinana mō ngā rā katoa o tau ao. Ngā uara, let them guide your hand. Walk hand in hand with peace, holding high the fire. Come as you intend to be for the rest of your life. Hara mai koe me te āhua, e mana ko ana koe, ki te whakatinana mō ngā rā katoa o tau ao. Now your future lies in learning from the past, holding high the fire.
Kia ora, tate, that was off the Rangahau album.
Ai,
Yeah.
Right,
Of
Rangahau
te wānanga
album.
o te aroa.
Yep.
I think you can still stream it on Spotify.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, you can. I've got it on my
It's
phone.
also available.
Do you need the premium subscription or, you know?
Nah, free
Nah.
trial.
You
But when you're looking for Taringa on Te Wānanga Aotearoa SoundCloud page, it's also there as well.
Oh, there we go.
He iwi aroha tēnei kia koutou.
Ka pai.
And i runga i tēnei aroha. I'm saying I'm going to take a break from some episodes, but these are all in safe hands and beautiful hands with the lovely
Thank you.
Erica Sinclair.
Oh.
And our Kaumātua Prāne line.
Oh, thanks.
So yes, I have to go and create more work stories and fight another mission in further galaxies, but I will be back.
Yeah.
You'll be dearly missed.
Yeah. He'll be back in Walk Drive.
Yeah.
Tell her.
You'll be back.
Our next time we might be still doing that hui in the Chatham Islands or Cuba, a beach on Cuba,
Yes,
or
yes.
in a
We'll have to take a photographer with us.
yes,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
need photography.
you're a kai whakaawa,
Yes,
Erica.
yes.
Tātou,
I
tātou.
love seafood.
Or a lovely cabin next to the lakeside front
Yes.
of Waikare Moana.
Oh, yes. So beautiful, that
Rated
place.
number 1 area of National Geographic 1 year.
Really?
Really?
Is that right? Well, there you go. Hoi anō e te iwi. Kaumātua i tērā, nei mātou tukotoru e mihi atu nei mā te wānanga o te aroa kia koutou katoa I whai taringa mai ki nei kōrero a mātou ki nei whakaaro. Jump on our Facebook page, Taringa, and yeah, just to taunaki nā kōrero a te puaheiri, find us on SoundCloud, e mihi atu nei kia koutou. Tēnā koutou, hei ko nā mai rā.
Whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako Kōrero flowing at the hook force Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds Kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te Kaupapa tino whakahira Whakarongo pi kari mai Hare mai, o Taringa hare mai We gotta gather up close everybody Gather up close everybody Kani move that body Kani move that body
Taringa, he mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe. Taringa, whakarongo mai.